We'll be back from the break. You're still watching Smart Men's Business. I'm Andrew Barije, and with my guest this morning, that is Honorable Kamara Nicholas from Kabale Municipality. Of course, breaking down education budget allocation, as we've been having into the previous half. You've had it all in regards to how much money is spent. You know, we looked at USC, UP, and so many of that, and you can really imagine how much really for schools that need that, where people are supposed to be helped. You know, are supposed to be helped, but, you know, having such lots of challenges. But before we proceed, the markets on the Zabo platform, don't forget, which have already opened as I speak right now. Start 292# is the USSD code for you to avail yourself. Yes, these are options where you can buy government bonds and securities with a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. But you can still choose to invest more. But Zabo simply says, well, come, let's grow together and we can make a living in there. Now, Zabo made this a reality. There is no excuse as why you shouldn't own government bonds and securities in such a time, in such a century. You know, no paperwork involved. All you need is your mobile phone and start 292#. And you straightly connected to buying government bonds and securities. Now, Zabo made this a reality. And now Zabo says, my money, my future. And All Tech East Africa tells you, do something new for yourself. Well, right about now, as we proceed with our discussion, Honorable, we were talking about USC, UPE, and I remember in last week when the president was addressing the nation, he mentioned something on UCE, UPE, and he said, the president himself, saying that no charging of fees to these people and all that. Maybe you can shed us a light. What do you think would be the cause as to why students who are supposed to study for free are now paying money? And I know it's been going on for years. It's not, you know, for years and years, and meaning USC has lost its relevancy and its meaning towards the poor parents. What could be the cause of that? Is it the late disbursement of funds? Because I don't know if the budget, as they plan for these funds, there is a fee specific for these schools, and it must be able to sustain them at least for that financial year.
Yeah, thank you so much. The UPE and USE are very good programs. And it's not all here and doom, because we know, for example, that the literacy rate has been improving.
The literacy rate, eh?
Yeah. Okay. For example, if you go in ages below 15,
okay,
the literacy rate is around 80% or even more.
Okay.
I mean, read basic sentence and interpret it and write.
Interesting.
This is something, and even the mere fact that you know that you can go to your phone and say this is a 5 and you press it, or you even save a number. I think you agree that.
I agree that, yeah.
It's not all here and doom. Another thing that has been improving is the completion rates at primary level.
Completion rates at primary level.
Primary level. But we are still doing badly in the region.
Sure.
The completion rates in Uganda are around the 60%.
Okay.
So if somebody who starts in P1, if you start with 1 million, by the way, we have also the numbers that are registering are also very important thing that has been achieved.
The number of
now it is around 11 million students in primary school.
UPE.
Yes, no, not every
in general,
but okay. Of course, most UP has done something to increase the one.
Oh yeah, the number.
So the completion rates have also improved.
Okay,
but they are not as good because we are around 60%, but Kenya is 90%. Ethiopia is 72%.
Completion rate.
Rwanda is 68%. Incidentally,
I'm surprised.
Yeah, surprised, but yeah, because sometimes looks can be deceptive. But
what's on the ground is different.
Yes, yeah. So, but you can imagine with 11 million, only 2.8 million go to
secondary school.
Most people complete primary school and say, I have graduated.
Okay.
But this is an area which can be a very big opportunity. Maybe we can talk about that after I've answered your question.
It is okay.
But what is happening is that much as it is a very good thing for us, I wouldn't want to say, oh, come here and say UPE and USA are bad. And again, sometimes the NRM government comes and says it is us who introduced UPE. No. There is no country in Africa now that doesn't have UPE. Which one is it? I don't know. If it is there, probably there's one or two.
So it wasn't.
So okay. This is an international agenda through UN. Previously through Millennium Development Goals. Now through Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay.
So it's like immunization. You can't say I brought immunization because even in Zimbabwe and Somalia, people are being immunized. They have vaccinated. And some numbers, if you went to Somalia and started, you may find the vaccination rates are even higher than ours. So you guys, I brought. This is an international agenda which must be done either for the security of the other people who are rich or for the good of humanity. Okay. But mostly it is done because definitely they don't want to labor. If they take you to Oman, they want somebody who can read and write. It is part of that is higher than what we are talking about. They don't want that measles breaks out in Somalia, and then somebody, because now it's a global world, you fly from here to USA in 12 hours.
12 hours, yeah.
Maybe even more. But within one day, you've already brought measles from Nigeria or Somalia to USA. So instead of it going there, they would rather promote immunization for you to not
of course,
spread,
to calm it down.
Not spread. So UP and USC are international agenda, and we have nothing to do about them. They must continue, and they are good.
Okay.
Now, the money that the government puts in, definitely the donor also puts in some money.
The donor,
or what we call development partners. I haven't got the money off cuff. I tend to know a lot more than my education. But what I know is that what we are talking about now, 2.4% of the GDP that the government puts in. Again, the lowest in East Africa.
Okay.
Others are putting not much more, but at least they are putting around 4%.
Okay, 4%. Okay. Which is the least of the East
still
Africa.
Little. So the partners must come in to add.
Okay.
So you cannot say, unless you get partners to add in money, the way we are now, when I was reading through here, I see that rural areas spend around 190,000 at primary school per household and 614,000 at secondary school. That is in rural areas. In urban areas, the primary school the household spends 478,000 in primary school per year. Then secondary school spends 922, almost 1 million. That is in school fees.
School fees, 1 year.
They still have to pay school fees because you have two teachers. You have what? Then you go to registration. Then there are other things like examination fees, boarding fees, and others. When I computed it, for rural areas, they have spent around 500,000, and for primary school, and for rural areas, for urban schools, they have spent like 1.5 to 2 million per household. That looks small because that's the money you spend on in one term. In
one semester, you know what I mean?
It looks small for people who probably are listening to this TV today. But if you go to the village, a household earning 2 million per year and just spends it on health without eating, without it spends on education without taking in consideration health and other needs. It is something big. Remember, they also have primary schools and secondary schools. And these people, even if they're at home, they must eat, they must clothe, they must eat. All these things we are talking about. Okay. So, for President to say USE,
no much fees to
no more fees for in USE and UPE, I think that is unfortunate. For some schools, it can be done. especially those which don't board.
Okay.
They should carry their food to school. They don't have extra teachers. They don't do anything else. They do exams. Maybe on board. I don't know where they're going to write because I don't think the money is enough to buy paper. But to me, I think he's hiding our head in the sand and not accepting reality. There are so many expenses. And even, by the way, these people who charge 2 million, probably they get they can have a surplus.
A surplus.
But when you see, my child is in Namugongo SS, they have over, I think, 4,000 students. Do you know how to cook for 4,000 students? Do you know how much food
it's a lot.
It's a party. Every day there is a party in Namugongo SS. Every day. And if you have organized a party of 1,000 people, and you want to feed them, but these people have to feed 4,000 students per day.
Okay.
So you may think they don't spend, but they also struggle. In fact, if they didn't have canteens and then the things we take them, they would also struggle. True. Even the money, and in Uganda here money has become worthless. Earning it is very tough.
True.
But spending it is very simple. So we are working in such environment, and I don't believe that it will be sustainable. That USE schools and UP schools should not pay anything.
Maybe if we are to benchmark a little bit, since it's an international agenda, how is it like for the other countries, their universal primary education systems like? Because you mentioned something at the beginning of the program, I think, about planning. Sometimes we have issues with planning because if we reach a point whereby, meaning, if people are paying fees, you see, he has lost its intended objectives to help these people. Because now I want us to benchmark.
Not fully, because there is subsidy. Because you see, we must be also a little bit objective. Government students at Makerere or Mbarara pay much less money than the ones at UCU, for example.
Government students?
Yeah. Government students, they may not pay, but even the private students, of course, government students pay. Cost is not only about money. If I did some little bit of health economics. Cost, you have to eat. Does Makerere pay for food? Maybe once, maybe not enough. You have to live. Most of the halls are dilapidated. You cannot stay there. You have to stay in a hostel. You have to get transport. All the hostels are occupied around the university. You have to stay in Kawempe. So all that is cost.
True.
But because government is paying for you, that one is taken aside. But even for private, because the government is paying the lecturers, and you find also you are being subsidized. So UP and USE, there are some costs that will go definitely, because the teacher has been paid, the school buildings are there. Maybe once in a while the capitation grant can be used for repair. There is something that will go. So again, UP and USE is a good thing. And remember, UP was suggested by Kawanga Semogerere. This is our agenda as opposition. Even before Uganda United Nations, Kawanga Semogerere said in '96 that for me, when I come, I'm going to educate 4. It was immediately adopted by the NRM, which is the good thing with opposition. I don't know why people don't like it to be opposed, but we want
ideas.
We want ideas can flow from opposition, even to the ruling government, even to UN. So it will not be possible. And you are asking about the benchmarking.
Benchmarking, yes.
This is what we should do. We should go to look for good practices like in Kenya, and see, for example, why do they have a 90% completion rate?
Exactly.
That is something you can make. How have they been able to incorporate computers and IT in their primary school?
True.
And how are they able to have completely free education without By the way, Kenya, I don't know where they still take milk.
Kenya, milk.
They used to
Exporting
take under
milk.
Moi. No, Moi used to give its primary students milk every day, half a liter per day.
It was it a compulsory aspect?
Yes,
or
it was
compulsory
from government.
Okay, like how they are doing, they have resumed it actually last week. I mean, this week I saw something government regimes are encouraging.
It was under Moi, and it is a legacy. People who drank Moi's milk still praise him. We've been so we can benchmark.
Okay.
And one of the other things we can benchmark is the school feeding program.
School feeding program. That is key.
I am a very big enthusiast of school feeding program. Why? Because instead of introducing a parish development model, or even with the parish development model, if we produce the food, where is it going? Do you have the market for it without being hoodwinked by the middleman?
Of course, it's
one of the things that could probably salvage a little bit of parish development model, assuming there is money in the village and people have grown food, but they must need market.
Market, exactly.
And one of the markets that can be there is a primary school, because the primary school is everywhere. Whether in rural areas or what, there is a market. And if the donor can actually put money in a school feeding program.
School. So he's giving, he's providing a market to the people that are growing the food.
Yes, they are growing the food. Second, so
Okay.
it has many benefits. One of the benefits it has is that you're going to have a healthy child.
True.
And we know definitely a healthy child cannot be dissociated from food.
Exactly.
The moment you are stunted, your brain also is stunted.
And your excellency, your performance.
There is only performance goes down, productivity, and there is just somewhere you can reach and you may not reason beyond that. The second thing the second benefit that you can get from this definitely is how money is spread.
How money is spread.
Easily. By giving all primary schools tenders for supply.
Okay.
Yeah. Thirdly, completion rates.
Okay.
Some of these students drop out of school because they are starving.
True. That's true.
Definitely, the other factors, toilets. Girls, when they go and they have nowhere to drop their pads, or sometimes they don't even have pads at all.
It's frustrating and
They get frustrated and leave school.
True. And mentally they are disturbed.
The classrooms are not enough. There is overcrowding. And sometimes the services are not as good. Even the students are bright. When you don't give them a good education, they just look at it as useless.
Useless, true.
You would rather be riding a board and getting money, not wasting time in your school, which is giving them useless things. So the benchmarking is there. You can benchmark. There are countries I need to check which are doing a school program. Kenya used to do milk. I need to check.
Whether milk is still.
But it's very important. School health program, but especially for the health of the children. Children need to be healthy from very early.
And
even earlier, because the moment you have the first mile, the first 1,000 days, the moment you get that wrong,
for a child's
health, you have totally got. But you can pick up maybe when they are primary, you feed them, you can still pick. But 1,000 days, very important. But health is related to feeding. If you are stunted, definitely even your mind is stunted. Everything about you is stunted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Honorable, for that. It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We've been having a discussion in relation, that is, to the health sector. Education sector. You know, Honorable is he specialized in health, so sometimes I see him as a health personnel.
And they're building in a lot of
health examples. Yes, that's Honorable Nicholas Kamara from Kabale Municipality. Well, we've come to the end of the show, Smart Banks Business this morning. I've been Andrew Barije, but of course, above all, don't forget to catch us on our channels, channel 372 on DSTV and channel 320 on GOTV. Then also on our social media handles at Smart24TV, that's on Twitter, at Smart24TV Official, that's on Facebook, and Smart24TV.tv, that is live. If you can get us on our website there to get further insights regarding certain business related stories, and also stream us on our Smart Digital app. Go to your Play Store, just type in Smart Digital, and you'll be availed with quite this application. You catch us with live broadcast 24/7. You could be in your car, in a taxi, jam, you're held somewhere. Well, get the app, you'll be able to watch all the business updates. Well, it's a Wednesday. Of course, like I always say, go be productive, be your best for the day. Definitely, success will be inevitable. Till tomorrow, a very good morning.
Up next on Smart 24 TV.